Egypt are back on the World Cup stage for the first time in 8 years. They had a strong qualifying campaign, unbeaten in their 10 matches, outscoring their opponents 20-2. Belgium supporters are marching to the stadium. Belgium are unbeaten in 7 straight World Cup opening matches. The last time they lost their opening World Cup game was back in 1986. And as you can see, their fans are so ready for kickoff in their opening game today against Egypt. Javier, what are you looking forward to seeing in this match?
Wow, an amazing match because they both are the favorites of this Group G to go through, and we're going to see it. And of course, there's still a lot of players of this so famous called golden generation from Belgium, and then of course Marmoush and Salah leading this Egypt national team. I think it's going to be an amazing match, and hopefully it's not going to be like last one, you know, goalless. We want to see goals. I want to see goals, and hopefully they can come a lot in this game.
And Mo Salah, we can't, not talk about him. I think, this is probably the last dance for him. What a player he is. And obviously he's had a bit of an interesting season this year, his least productive season for Liverpool, and perhaps finding a new club as well. But he's so important to the squad. And all of these star players, when they get with their national teams, there's a sense of pride. And he's going to carry this team as well as he does. He will carry this team very far.
Yeah, when we talk about these players, we talk about what they've done in their teams, like Salah and De Bruyne, mature players, experienced players. But then I think the highlight would be the young players, the talent. And we have, in the one hand, Marmoush, in the other hand, Doku. They both played for Man City, sometimes sharing positions. And today they will have a huge impact on the team on the game as well.
Yeah, lots of big names, lots of individual talent in both of these sides. So let's take a look at the starting lineup, sponsored by American Express. And 34-year-old Kevin De Bruyne, still a key part of his country's success. He helped Belgium with 6 goals during their World Cup qualifying. That was actually 1 goal ahead of his teammate Jeremy Doku. The Manchester City left winger is making his 2nd World Cup appearance. As for Egypt, it's their 4th all-time World Cup appearance. They're still searching for their first ever World Cup victory. So could Mo Salah take them there? It's his birthday today. He led Egypt with 9 goals during World Cup qualifying. He, of course, starts today. His 67 international goals are the 2nd most for Egypt of all time, trailing only behind his head coach, Hossam Hassan. So now let's check in with our match commentators on this one, Derek Rain and Rob Green, in our key matches to the match, sponsored by Jeep.
Yes, hello from sunny Seattle. I think you can tell by looking at us which one of us played in goal at the World Cup. Rob, let's focus on the goalkeepers. And what is it about Thibaut Courtois that gives him such an aura?
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best in the world for me. He's back for Belgium. Fell out with the previous manager, Tedesco. Well, he's probably feeling that quite a few people did. He's certainly got that aura. He's got a Thibaut Courtois presence. He makes saves that I can't explain technically. He is just the best stopper in the world.
And he has a chance at this tournament to become the all-time leader for Belgium in terms of World Cup appearances. Now, for Egypt, there has been a changing of the guards. You know all about that from your own goalkeeping past. It goes with the territory within a squad. But from the legendary Mohamed El Shanawi to Mustafa Shobir, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because they both play for the same team as well in their clubs. So they've had the change of the guards at club level and at international level recently in AFCON. One's a cool, calm, composed keeper. One recently struck the referee. I wonder which one's going to play.
OK, the goalkeepers certainly front and centre with that. Back to you, Jules.
Thank you very much, guys. More on Belgium and Egypt shortly, but the US will play their 2nd match of this World Cup on Friday against Australia. So with more, here's Jenny Taft, who caught up with US defender Chris Richards.
Well, Chris, everyone is talking about the 83 consecutive passes you completed against Paraguay. How much confidence does a performance like that give you at this World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice stat to have. Maybe I played a little safe at sometimes, but regardless, it was good to get another full 90, and to have a stat like that, it was cool. So for me, I felt like it was a complete game. That was just kind of the cherry on top, was having a new record.
As for Australia, obviously this is a team you played against in the friendly in October. What do you expect from them in terms of the opponent you're facing Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a very physical team. They have a lot of big boys, especially in the back. We saw they defended really well against Turkey. So, hopefully we can somehow find a way around that, around their physicality, around how big they are, and try to play through them. But regardless, we're expecting a well-organized team, and a team's going to go out and fight, and they're going to try to top the group. So we need to beat them there.
Thank you very much, Jenny. The US will play in Seattle, and that is actually where Egypt have their opening game of the tournament today. Their supporters ready for Egypt's first World Cup match since 2018. So coming up, we are one day away from the World Cup opener for Kylian Mbappe and two-time champions France as well. We'll bring you the latest from their camp after the break.
Nothing more that I hate. 6 today on Fox is presented by Google.
Jeremy Doku and Belgium are out on the pitch in Seattle ahead of their World Cup opener against Egypt. They're trying to bounce back after a group stage exit 4 years ago. Forward to seeing that full interview tomorrow when Mbappe and France take on Senegal. Also in the same group, Erling Haaland and Norway face Iraq. So now for the latest from France's camp, let's hear from Jeff Shreves.
Jules, this is the meeting of two teams who both lost their last major finals, but of course in Senegal's case, in far more controversial circumstances. But their coach Pap Thiaw is actually looking to the past for inspiration. He was a member of the squad in 2002 that reached the quarterfinals, and he's brought in old teammates like El Hadj Diouf to mentor the current squad, and it seems to be working. As for France, they're probably still wondering why they didn't get over the line in Qatar, but they are one of the heavy favourites to lift the trophy this time round. Kylian Mbappe, the hat-trick from that night, he's kicked on 20 and 31 appearances for France, and Didier Deschamps, his last assignment as manager. Could he be the first man ever to win it as a player and then twice as a coach? What an au revoir that would be. Back to you, Jules.
Yeah, I think we're all really looking forward to seeing Kylian Mbappe in France in action tomorrow. And what a great opening game as well against Senegal, Carly.
I am. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm going to kick my feet up just like you and be able to sit back and relax and watch. But I think after the Spain performance, I'm more excited to want to see France play. I mean, I think they have all the tools to win this World Cup. And obviously, that takes some things throughout your path to enable you to get to that point. But from a coaching perspective, from a depth perspective, I mean, you can field 2 to 3 different lineups, starting lineups, if they were on any other team in this World Cup. They won in 2018, they lost in 2022, so they're going to be extra motivated to want to win this World Cup.
Yeah, and tomorrow we also get our first look at the reigning World Cup champions as Lionel Messi and Argentina play their opening match against Algeria as well. So much to look forward to in tomorrow's matches. And of course, Argentina making that defence of their crown. That final against France last year, Javier, I mean, in the last World Cup, should I say, it was one of the best finals we'll ever see.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. And I want to go back to the starting of that tournament, actually, because Argentina started with the left foot, if we call it like that, not losing against Saudi Arabia in the beginning of the match. And then they went to play against Mexico, fighting all in over there. And then Lionel Messi's brilliance came up into that game. They scored a goal, and then Enzo Fernandez scored the second one. So I don't think Argentina want to start like that. No, they want to start like the actual world champions, and they want to start with the right foot over there. And of course, speaking about Messi, there's no words to describe him. But I want to point out Lautaro Martinez and Julian Alvarez. Actually, he can play it all around. He can complement with Leo. So I think it's a very good headache from Scaloni, regardless of who is going to start or not, because you have 2 out of the best strikers out of the world.
Javier says no words to describe Messi.
No,
do you?
I will follow his words, but Argentina has to start with the left foot, with Messi's foot.
Exactly, I understand, exactly.
So we have that. We have a big player in the biggest stage ever in football. So for me, he wanted to make further cement his legacy after this tournament. So we have a big player with a big team. They can be champions again in a back-to-back situation.
And with a little bit less of pressure, no? Because they're actual champions already,
exactly.
In Qatar, they were with the pressure of he needs to win the World Cup.
And without pressure, Messi is Messi. So you have Argentina with many experienced players. Without Di Maria, is a big experienced player who made a lot of things for Argentina. But then you have Lautaro, you have Julian, you also have McAllister in the back of them, feeding the players. So yeah, pretty strong team. Looking forward to watch the game against Algeria tomorrow.
Messi is the player that all of the fans are out to watch. And as you can see here, we've got the Argentina fans on their way way to the World Cup. They are excited. They're excited to see their team defend their World Cup title. All right, well, back to today, and we'll be getting our first look at Belgium at this World Cup shortly. And for many of us, including Stu Holden, thinking of Belgium brings a very specific food to mind.